Hi there, my name is Elijah Mongi and welcome to my channel. And for today's video, we are going to be talking about anxiety. How does anxiety happen? How does it affect us in the things that we want to do? There was a time when I was in campus and I was presenting for a particular unit. We had done the work, we had printed the work just for presentation, but we had to present what we had done for us to get marks. That is what the lecturer had demanded at that point. And so as I was walking to the front of the class to present what I had done, there was a single thought that was lingering in my mind. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? Remember, I was very prepared for what I was going to say, but at that moment, everything left my mind. I did not know really what to do. I had a feeling of dryness in my throat. At that moment, all the words that I had told myself I would start with were all gone. I didn't know what to say. Everybody was looking at me. And so, at that moment, I froze. And as I began to speak, I did not speak well. But as I continued to speak, it became much more easier. Now that was a moment of anxiety. No matter how prepared I was, I felt anxious about it. It's because I had a bit of doubt about my capability as a speaker. And that caused me to freeze. Now, anxiety happens for everybody, no matter the situation. For one person, they may not be anxious in a particular situation. For the other, they're very anxious. So it's completely normal. And being anxious is relative to what you expose yourself to. It's not the same for everybody. I might be anxious about a particular experience, a particular environment, but another person is very comfortable with it. So the first thing to acknowledge is it happens to everybody and it is actually normal. For anxiety, there exists a lot of triggers. What triggers one specific person can be really different from what triggers the other person. It depends with your experience and what you have gone through. There are people who have gone through very disturbing situations, and that could be a really big trigger for them. It could be it happened when they were children, it could be it happened when they were adults. So you could be really anxious about thinking, what if it happens again? Which is very understandable. But as all things, anxiety can be dealt with in many ways. That a friend of mine told me once that anxiety is as a result of worrying about what is going to happen in the future. It's because we do not have that assurance that everything is going to be okay. One thing could have happened to me when I was really young, and I'm afraid that it could happen again, and that could cause a lot of anxiety for me. Could be even when I was telling the story of the public speaking incident. The trigger for me then was that, what if I was going to fail? In many situations in life, we always have that thought. What if I try this thing? And what if I fail? What will I think of myself? What will happen? So I think understanding your triggers is really important. It helps you to deal with whatever is going to come. When you understand that this thing really makes me anxious and I really have to do this thing, how can I handle this? What approach can I take? And I think starting from there really helps somebody to deal with it. By making this video, I'm not downplaying anybody's anxiety. By no means am I doing that. I believe that in every way, life has handed us different plates. Somebody has gone through different scenarios. I have gone through different scenarios. When I speak from my own experience. But you need to understand that anxiety could really hold you back as a person. There's so many things that could be in store for you, but your anxiety is the wall that you really need to cross. And so there's a sense of responsibility we ought to have to ourselves to know that I'm really afraid of doing this thing. Whenever I do it, I have a feeling that I will fail, but I'm going to do it regardless because I need myself to do this. It will benefit me in the future. It will help me to overcome this fear that I have. So having a sense of responsibility to take care of what has been going through with you really does help a lot. Now, for the question, if anxiety ever goes away, no, it does not. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Anxiety is something that is always with us, but not every time. In many situations in life, you're going to be anxious about a lot, but it is better to teach yourself how to deal with anxiety for you as a person. For those people with normal anxiety or ordinary anxiety, for people with anxiety disorders, I'm going to say this again, please do seek assistance from somebody who can really help you and walk that journey with you. A psychological expert is the best thing for you, because at that point, if it limits you from living your life the way you want to, it's an issue. And so make the effort to see somebody that could really help you, and I think life could really get better. In many situations, our friends can get anxious, our family members, and how do we support them at that time? I've seen many people get anxious about something. There's a particular friend of mine, at one point, he was really anxious about approaching somebody he liked, and people laughed at him. I don't think it helps to do that. Please just really try to encourage them to do that thing that makes them anxious, only if it's good for them. Help them to know that you're there for them as a person and as a friend. It also gives them that morale to know people are with me and that what I'm feeling is not wrong. Don't stigmatize the person, it just makes them feel worse. So we really need to be better people, better friends, and really need to be more empathetic to these people, because we ourselves can get anxious. Treat people how you'd want to be treated. And that is all for me. Now, coming back to ourselves, how can we help ourselves with anxiety? I think first and foremost is self-acceptance, accepting that anxiety happens. Acknowledge it. The more you say, oh, I'm not feeling anxious, and you're feeling anxious, you're just in denial. Accepting the fact that you're anxious about this particular thing helps you to take that step to know, where should I start in dealing with this thing that is really making me anxious. Also, self-compassion is really important. You're not a perfect person, you will worry about things, but over time, if you take that lesson and turn it into wisdom, you will learn to deal with that anxiety. You will know how to act in a particular situation. Turn your wounds into wisdom, and I think you will grow as a person. Anxiety may not go, it's going to be there, but you can learn how to live with it. You can learn how to handle it, and definitely you can be a better person. Helping somebody with anxiety is not always the easiest thing. Sometimes it can get to us. Sometimes we may feel like we're not doing enough. But at that moment, whenever you feel like you've reached your limit, it is okay to take a step back and allow somebody else to help the person, because you also matter. Your mental health does matter. So take some time off to think about yourself as a person and how this situation could affect you. So if you need to talk to somebody, confide into somebody you trust. And when I say this to everybody, take care of yourself, especially also to the men who tend to be a bit more dismissive when they feel something. Your mental health matters. Please do take care of yourself. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, and share if you've liked the content that we've just filmed. Thank you. It will really help the channel, and I wish you a good one. Thank you very much.